Hello and welcome to Division 7 Baylor versus UNLV's B team. This is the round 3 match between these schools. They rescheduled to pretty late time, but alas, here we are. This is Daniel versus PP Haha, which is a great username from UNLV B, Tyler. So Baylor's best player here, Daniel Gould, whose username is the same as their first and last name. Nice and easy. Not making things too difficult, which is always nice. And what do we have? Looks like we have a fried liver played from Tyler. And it looks like Danny knows how to defend against it, which is nice. Playing d5 and knight a5. So let's see, how does white respond? Normally, after the knight comes to a5, we have the bishop check given. And then after pawn blocks, takes, bishop comes back somewhere. But we have the bishop b3 move right away. The knight takes, and now black recaptures now on d5. And the knight is hit, takes the center to e4. Black can castle and does so. White can follow suit. They also castle. So pretty standard. White just has this not isolated, but a doubled pawn on the b file and an open file for their rook. Black has the bishop pair. Offer a trade here. The knight just develops, supporting the other knight. So nothing crazy in this game. What's up, Daniel? Daniel's in the chat. Should say you should focus on your games. Definitely don't be listening to me while you're playing. It's ill-advised. I'll throw you off. But Daniel knows their theory, it seems. Their defense is holding up. Let me make sure I'm following all the players real quick. All right. We do have a second game underway as well. Guli, who is Nurakemi, Guli Nihali. No idea if I said that right or not. But they're playing against T5 Sparky, who is UNLV's best B team player. Okay, so both sides have castled. Black probably would like to take here to open up this bishop, and they do that. Now we can take back with the knight first or the pawn. A lot of players are shy about taking on d4 with the pawn, leaving themselves with an isolated d-pawn. I'm actually not opposed to taking with the pawn because I like bringing the knight out to c3, and typically the bishop goes to e3. Instead, we have knight to g5, an early threat of checkmate. So, does Sparky see it? Sparky has captured here. Do they capture yet again? Winning a pawn, perhaps? It's not too bad. Or will we see... I don't know. What do you think about h6? That's probably pretty bad. Probably don't want to play h6. But, yeah, the knight's annoying. Okay, so it's been defended. But now maybe queen h4. No, just taking on d4 now. Okay. What about bishop to f5? Bishop f5, maybe we do see queen h4. Oh, I like that. Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah. Queen takes d4. Ooh. Gully. Maybe a little gullible there. Hanging the queen on d4, thinking that was a free piece, but no. Sparky with the tactics. Knight takes, very nice. Poor Gully. Probably not saying that right, and I apologize for the bad joke. as they've probably heard that a million times. All right, we have a third game, Nini versus nobody. No, newbie Deadpool. That catches me every time. I think it's nobody Deadpool, but it's newbie Deadpool. They have an upside down picture of a husky as their profile picture. I believe that's what that is. So, okay, what's happening? So, takes, queen's hit, takes here. Rook here, castles, takes, and yeah. And then he's down a queen after taking a pawn on e7. Rook e8, and that queen is pinned. Unfortunate. Going after the rook now. But bishop here is such a nice move. I mean, it's a free bishop, yes. But taking here is not the good move. Oh, queen take. The better move was taking here and then taking here, because you lose this bishop now. You could have traded first and then taken the rook. So not over just yet. Rook to e1 can be annoying. Maybe knight here as well can be annoying. But if newbie Deadpool doesn't, you know, blunder up a queen, they should be good to go. So we do see the rook to e1. Maybe knight here. No. Okay, attacking the knight. Maybe knight here, here. No. Definitely not d4. So going here. If knight takes, and now probably rook takes. Now going for the rook trade is very smart. Trading down for newbie. So this should be pretty easy cleanup for newbie. Let's go back to Daniel's game. Ooh, and we have a skewer or pen. I guess this is a pen. But yeah, just attacking the rook, pinning the rook to the queen. So we can just take that. We can also go here. Queen here, piling up on this, attacking the bishop. So no, just taking right away, bringing the other rook in. This is very nice. Daniel is up, what, in exchange for a pawn. This last move hits the queen, but leaves a7 a little susceptible. Maybe white will take this next. We have queen here lined up opposite the king. This is a move, but g7 is sufficiently defended. Oh, going for the queen trade's pretty smart. Also looking at potential tactics back here. If the queen declines the trade and keeps an eye over h3, you're failing to meet this back rank check. So Daniel low on time, but seems to have it figured out. They're going to get the queens off the board. Queen takes, rook takes. There's no time to take on a7, as this is constantly going to be an issue. So queen check. Oh yeah, also queen h3 is just I mean, it covers the back rank, but does not cover itself. So this queen actually just blundering mate too. That is unfortunate. Okay, so looks like Daniel should be winning that one. Let's check back in with Sparky here. So Sparky is up a queen for a knight. So it looks like every single board we've had a queen blunder. Daniel gets the first point of the day. Taking the lead for Baylor. We had a resignation, I believe, in this game. Or no, just checkmate on the spot. So not much you could have done there. Here we have black just opening the file. King steps over. I think black should just trade. Should be good. Yep, does so. Opens the F file for the rook. Let's check out newbie's game. So playing on down a queen. Let's see. That's a free knight, no? Or, I mean, I guess they're threatening to promote. So, okay. And maybe I'm a little confused. Okay, pawn here attacks the pawn. And yeah, you're just up a queen. So, and then he tried to try to get the pawn passed, but to no avail. Here we have this piece is about to fall. Probably you need rook here. Maybe check. Trade if they block. So, let's see. Am I following Copper Knights, the board 2 from Baylor? I guess I am. They should be playing Damon from UNLV B, who I guess isn't here. Newbie Deadpool won their game with a nice checkmate there. So let's get their point. So it's tied up 1-1. And Sparky wins with a checkmate of their own. So UNLV takes the lead. I'm messaging one of the UNLV players if they know where Damon is. Damon Miyamori. Also using the first and last name for their chess username. Something that they have in common with Daniel Gould. We have 4 players with the name starting with the letter D out of 8. That's 50%. That's a pretty high percentage there. This guy's name, and then his name is Innocent, which I've actually never seen anyone with that name, which is pretty cool. Same with Nirakemo. I don't know anyone with that name either. And yeah, UNLVB's team has 2 Devons. That's a 50% ratio there too. Actually, I think UNLV has this really interesting stat. I should have mentioned it when Kevin was doing commentary with me last time. They have 3 teams, right? An A team, B team, and C team. And each team has the same name twice. So like their B team has 2 Devons. I think their A team might have like 2 Johns or something. And their C team, I don't know. But they do have 2 of the same name players, which is really unique. I don't know what the odds of that are, but anyways, looks like black had their knight trapped here. So pawn push, knight to the side. And even starting from here, like if the bishop wasn't covering b4 right away would win the knight. So bishop here, and now this sets the trap of b4, and this does not help the situation. This knight needs a flight square, so a move like b6 is needed at this point. So knight is lost. So it looks like Newbie is up a piece here already. Newbie's playing well. Let's check out Sparky's game. Sparky against Innocent. Okay, looks like White's just going to go for this a5 break. Black puts a stop to that immediately. Putting some extra safety over d4. Maybe rook d8. This queen has to defend the knight. Otherwise, we have this shot. Bishop takes h3. Pawn takes, queen takes. Okay, anyways, the knight is coming in, maybe landing on f4. This pawn does a good job of boxing this knight out. Okay, the queen has stepped up, so now this knight's no longer defended. Ooh, going for this trade. The bishop takes h3 was there, I believe. I mean, maybe the queen could get kicked, but it is late. These players have agreed to play late. I initially thought that they would be playing 2 hours ago, but no. Your second opponent's not here. Yeah, Damon, I don't know where they are. Daniel Kimstud, you guys know each other? You guys friends? Yeah, I messaged Damon. Oh, you guys know each other on Twitch. Nice. Okay, so Damon is being reached out to. All right, so the queen is lined up opposite the king. If the knight moves, again, bishop h3 is a tactic. Taking advantage of the pinned pawn. Okay, here. We take and go here. Not taking. Honestly, that's probably pretty good. Bishop here is a really nice square as well. I like black's position. I mean, bishop pair, up a pawn. Life is good. Better pieces, I think. Nice haircut. You get it? Maybe like a week or two ago. But I did get one. So you're not too far off. Okay, defense over here. So black just needs to activate the rooks now. As well as this bishop, which isn't really doing too much. Bishop here makes sense. Rook to the d file and e file makes sense. Yes, okay, so now the knight is pinned to checkmate. Gotta watch out for that. Black actually might just go for this. Ooh, so taking here, not a big fan of. Now the bishop's activated. Okay, offering queen trade, that's not bad. Makes sense. I would consider not trading. I like the queen activity. Takes, and I mean, you're up a pawn, so trading is inherently good, I guess, but not crazy. So f5, blocking the queen trade this way. A little ambitious. You're not really threatening f4 because then your queen falls. That's called a Botez gambit. Apparently you can put emojis on the board now. I don't know how to do it though. Maybe I disabled the setting. Seems like something I would do. Okay, so bishop here blocking the pawn anyways. So now the queen steps aside. Bishop here is a good idea. I think black is just going to full send it straight up. G5, F4, F3. Okay, so a little special timeout to guard the B7 pawn, which is interesting because I think that like if rook takes, bishop here would be kind of rough for white because of like the rook's traps now. But okay, save this here to get out of tempo, but maybe just F4, F5 right now. How do you stop that? You don't. F5 is going to hurt. Or not F5, F3. Yeah, F3. Send it. You could even do bishop takes G2 and then F3 if you really wanted to. Okay, so they open this up. Just don't play queen G6 check. Yeah, bishop takes is best, probably. Maybe even just queen takes was good. So right now, the queen wants to go to h5, hitting the knight twice and hitting the pawn, threatening mate galore. So yeah, this move doesn't help too much, and this move is gonna hurt. This followed by this, pretty bad. So what do you do as white? I don't know. Innocent might take down T5 Sparky. No, they don't go for H5. They go this way instead. And now we see a problem with this, is that the queen is not leading the attack. We want the queen to come in to the king, all up close and personal. Queen here would do just that. I mean, like, I don't know. If you save the pawn, you lose the knight. You save the knight, you lose the pawn. Like, knight here to defend, you have rook takes, bishop takes, queen takes, and I think they have to give up the queen for the bishop here. So, like, even if queen back, you have this mate. So yeah, queen h5 looked like lights out to me. Instead, we have queen d5, a centralization of the queen. This queen is unprotected. We could see a move like c5, undermining the pawn of the defense of the bishop on e5. Instead, we might just double our rooks here. This helps defend. This is a solid move, getting the queens off the board. So this king is not safe at all. And getting the queens off is very helpful for your king's safety. So we do see the continuation of this plan, doubling the rooks. Rook lift helps defend this pawn. Bishop comes back, opening the rooks, attacking this rook. This is defended now, and it's defended sufficiently. Maybe bishop here. Bishop here seems annoying. How do you deal with this? So bishop takes, rook takes, rook takes. I mean, even getting 3 attackers is not enough because it is defended 3 times. So, yeah, this bishop slightly misplaced, kind of staring off into space. Launching the pawns, trying to attack the knight. The knight is secured with h4. Let's look over at Gully's game here versus Newbie. Less than 30 seconds for Gully and not looking too good here. Looks like Newbie's going to be able to win this one pretty cleanly. So let's go back here. Let's see what's going on. So Innocent, trying to convert this up a pawn advantage. Okay, the knight's coming into the dark squares now. Even knight here. I don't think you should play this because you can give up a rook for 2 pieces. But like the knight on the dark squares is annoying to say the least. And Innocent seeing themselves in some time pressure. So yeah, Newbie won their second game. Let's give them a point there. We do have another game, Copper Knight versus Tyler. What exactly is going on here? Looks like Copper Knight is up a piece for a pawn. This is Mark, their first game of the match. Let's go back here. Low time, so we do have a knight on g5. This hits the bishop. I don't know if you want to save the bishop. You do. So now the bishop boxes out the knight. Ooh, taking on b6, takes, but now we can take here. We can take here, and we're threatening this. I don't know. This looks kind of dangerous. So the king goes here, but now we have this. Ooh, this could be even worse. We can take here with check. We can go here and take that. Life is good for black. Let's see. Do they see the discovery? They go this way instead, winning this. I mean, I think it all works really well. So rook check, king here, rook check, king here. There's none of this because the knight's there. Also, rook here, even if the knight wasn't here, that would blunder this, but then you have this discovery. So the rook goes here, trying to go here. So now rook here probably, but then rook here, going for that. That is really concrete. This is a mate in... Well, actually, this isn't a mate threat because the knight can block, but this threatens to win the knight. Oh, Desperado. Yeah, just gobble that up, and that's GG. Going this way. So what's interesting is you don't want to take with the rook. No, yeah, you take with the bishop is much better. So Innocent's playing this really well, and the bishop discovery is mate. So T Sparky going down. Let's go back to Copper's game. Innocent with their first point of the day, bringing it back within one. That was a nicely played game there. Okay, so what's going on? White is up a piece for 2 pawns now. These pawns are very weak for black as well. This pawn is hanging. Let's see. This check is a threat, potentially. What else? This pawn is pretty pinned. Don't want to give up the f2 bishop with check, so you don't want to push. As much as you might want to put the bishop here. This square is sufficiently covered by black's pieces. Along with the rook is even putting pressure on d4 ever so slightly. So yeah, both players about the same amount of time. Got to figure out a plan here. Maybe knight here. Maybe knight back. I mean, check, but I don't see a great follow-up. Check in here. Threaten mate. Probably. I don't know. Okay, this hitting this. Okay. So where does the rook go? You don't want to go here because that's a fork. You don't want to go here because that's a discovery. Don't want to go here because the knight, which means you might have to go to a8. No, they're just giving up. They're saying, take me. I don't care. And I think white should just do it. I think why not? So no, just going for mate. That's potentially even better. There is pawn push. Oh, takes here does not work. Bishop takes is pretty good. Again, I think just simply moving the pawn should be fine. But yeah, Tyler's just going to run out of time here. Okay, push the pawn. Okay, check. This forces the king into discovery. I don't know if there's any good discoveries, though. I mean, maybe... I don't know, maybe. Let's see. I mean, you have the... Ooh, no. The king had to go back. So yeah, sacking here is good enough. Not taking, but now this is actually mate in 1. Nice. Okay. So Mark tying it up for Baylor. We're still missing Damon, unfortunately for the B team of UNLV. So I think that if they don't show up in the next 2 minutes, they're gonna forfeit their second round as well. So Damon should have played I guess Mark in the first round, so I guess Mark gets a point. We'll just give him a 2. What else? Maybe, yeah, they were supposed to play Daniel in round 2. Daniel's playing newbie Deadpool. So I guess they've moved on to round 3 a bit early. But I'm not receiving word that Damon is showing up anytime soon. So I'm okay with just giving Daniel the second point there as well. But yeah, that's unfortunate when you're missing a player because that's 4 whole games, which is 4 whole points. And you only need 8 for a tie. Although we did have a player show up 2 rounds late earlier today. Actually, I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I forget. But I believe it was UT Austin. They had a player show up 2 rounds late or something. And they still won. Or no, it wasn't UT. It was Arizona State. Yeah. It was Arizona State. It was earlier today. Anywho, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so pawn push, takes. Rook takes. Queen up. Takes rook. Offers queen trade. Goes back. So probably in this position, best is to take. Ooh, there's knight takes though. Hitting this. Yeah. If king takes, then we take back, we win this piece. But there's knight takes with the counterpunch, which is really nice. So leaving the queens on, we have discovery with the bishop. Now the bishop saves itself and blocks the queen. I think maybe you want to go this way. Oh, they're offering this. This is a nice move. Just offering trades. I like, okay, they're hitting the bishop, which I don't like. Maybe go here. And you take this, or I don't know. I don't think you want to take, I mean, maybe you take. But I like this move a lot because this opens up the bishop. It trades the material that's close to the king. It's a defensive maneuver. So like, black is up a bishop, a dark square bishop. Now the queen is hit. So what do? Do you sack? Probably not. Probably that's too much to be down a rook. Although the rook is very far away. I just don't think this king is getting mated with the queen around. And there's no good discovery. I mean, you have discovered double check, but you lose material as the king can simply take the bishop. F4 doesn't work, so that's just a free pawn. Yeah. I think you go here maybe. Queen here. It's pretty annoying. So yeah, I think Deadpool should just win this one. I think Daniel's going to go down. Daniel is the strongest player here for sure. But we do see queen h4. You got to leave the queens on. And now let's see what Deadpool's response is here. See Michael Patson here repping Arizona State. Good to see you tuning in. Scouting the competition maybe. No, I don't think Arizona. What division is your B team in? Do you know? I watched the A team today. I believe that was Division 3. I don't know where your B team is. Okay, we do have another game as well from Gooley and Tyler. So the bishop is hit. This knight is pinned to the F2 square if the knight goes somewhere crazy. Black can take here. So bishop here trying to neutralize this bishop. I like this move a lot. If bishop takes, probably take with the knight, maintaining the pawn structure. Black ignores this in castles. White castles long, so we have opposite side castles, always making for an exciting game. If you take here, black will open up towards the center, attacking a2. It is defended, but a move like knight here is a bit of a fork. Nothing crazy. The queen just comes back. Let's pressure here. Solid. Black needs to get this development. Maybe a pawn push. Open this up. Pawn push here. Well, this defends the knight. Oh, the B team's in Division 9. Okay. So not quite Division 7. You're just tuning in for the love of the league. I love it. Okay, so black did not go for this queen f4 idea. They go queen here instead. Opposite the king, pressure on the bishop. Queen here defending. Bishop up, bring the rook over. Hit this bishop. King here. I don't know what that move is about. Okay, so white wants to play g5. Unfortunately, after pawn takes, this frees up the e5 square again with check as well. Doing homework, nice. Yeah, so we do see bishop e5, and this bishop is a monster piece. There's no pawn that can kick it out anymore. And black is up a lot of material as well, and past a pawn is going to be really tough to stop, especially with the bishop and the queen and the rook all working together here. So both sides though, under 30 seconds. Is newbie Deadpool gonna see the plan? So they go queen back, hitting this. I would push the pawn 100%. Because you push. Oh, wait, is that just mate? No. Wait, do you have to give up the piece? Yeah, give up the piece. Yeah, wow. Big blunder. Yeah, queen. Yeah, king. Okay, first off, king f8 was just not the play. Okay, queen check. Here. Bishop discovery. We can win the bishop and actually not be down material anymore. But we're probably mating. Okay, bishop here. What on earth is happening? If you go here, that's mate. If you go here, okay, queen covers this, but there's rook check. 7 seconds. Okay, here, also very strong, but you're blundering this, but there's queen check and mate. Or maybe there was mate already, but that's mate. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a huge comeback from Daniel. Oof. Can't count him out. Down a piece, no problem. Yeah, king f8 was just not the move. Yeah, unfortunate for newbie, but well played from Daniel. Big comeback, down a piece. Just super active pieces, and black's pieces were pretty far off to the side. So putting the queen in the corner also to attack the pawn did not help the situation, as the queen check was too powerful with that bishop. Wow, what a game. Comments from Daniel himself. Yeah, nicely done. All right, so here we have Gully versus Tyler. What is going on here? This queen is a little nervous. Lined up opposite the rook. Can we take a pawn? Rook here. Looks like b2 is going to crash. Probably don't want to do that. That's just my guess. Gully takes it. Very brave. Brave is one way to say it. I think rook b8. Gully's going to be in a world of hurt. There it is. Rook a to b8. How's that pawn feel now? Probably not too good, would be my guess. I don't think you save b2. I'm thinking like this, but I don't know. Knight d6 could have been potentially an idea. Just trying to attack here. So now the king is on the run. Rook check. Probably you block here. Probably. If you run, oh, the c pawn's defended, but like rook here is also gonna hurt. No matter what actually happens. This bishop is guarding f7, which is really nice. And the queen's even defending here, so. Okay. So will we see rook now to c8? Tyler's got a lot of time to think here. Tyler's technically down material. But their king is just so much safer. And this king is just so exposed. This begs to be played. Giving up another pawn. But yeah, rook takes is really nice. The knight's not really defending because it's pinned. Oh, they found it. What's up, Halvard? So Tyler, bottom board for UNLV, putting together some good moves. I'm gonna see this or this actually. Queen here's forced. There's no good follow-up. There's queen takes maybe, but this knight is no longer pinned. Okay, queen check. You can block. You can go to either of these three. "18 seconds for Gully. They block with the rook. Queen takes on e3 now. Can block again. Oh, but yeah, rook check is made. Nicely found from Tyler. So that's their first point. Let's see here. This is T5 Sparky versus Copper Knight. So that was the battle of the bottom boards. So Gully didn't get a single point, but they will play Damon, who isn't here in the 4th round, so they should get a point there at least. What's up, Diamond Cutter? Yeah, we got a late night match. They scheduled till now. I originally thought they were going to play 2 hours ago, which would have been a little bit nicer, but this is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with this. Look at this knight on e4. Should we play c4? c4, I mean, playing here, trying to undouble our pawns. Yeah, no problem, Diamond Cutter. Ooh, so they do undouble the pawns. Rook lift. I think you should go for c4 at some point. Maybe put a rook on d1 and then c4. Maybe. Okay, here you're within checking distance now. But putting pressure here is not a bad idea. So what's interesting is white can always give up the exchange again for the 2 pawns. Okay, so here, do you trade or do you defend? Okay, so they trade. This is a threat. Defended. This is a check. You have 2 moves. A minute for Copper. 2 for Sparky. Okay, here, attacking this, defending that. Maybe you just go here. There's checks. There's another check. Always gotta watch out for the checks. So here's this check. King up. King up, and this threatens mate. But there's always pawn push. Or any king move. Okay. Yeah, they're going for this. So you gotta watch out for that. Gotta watch out for that. So what do? Here, it's a little risky, but you have this. So, ooh, giving up the exchange. So, even material entirely. Completely even at this point. Rook here. Defend, attack. Multi-purpose. So, pawn push makes sense. So what do? Might get your rook bullied a little bit. I like this move a lot, actually. Because if this, I mean, the rook's kind of cooked. So, okay, bringing the king up. Not sure what the plan is. This rook cuts the king off this way. Okay, so playing a3. I think black is better here. Because this rook actually sees the board, right? This rook, you go from attacking to now... I mean, rook b4 was a logical move for sure. But yeah, here they're going for practicality. They're giving up the b pawn to go for these pawns. Yeah, take here, but take here. And now black is better for sure. They could have 2 passed pawns on the outside. They could also simply take and have 1 pawn on the outside. But regardless, black is up a pawn at the end of the day. So they decide to go for b4, which I like. 2 passed pawns is better than 1. But the downside is that you give white a passed pawn as well. So the rook gets behind the pawn. Very smart. And this pawn is running. This pawn is running. Rook here to trade. So ultimately, you're left with this pawn. Let's see. Do you go here? No, because they just push. So it takes. Probably you want to get behind the pawn. So yeah, pushing makes a lot of sense because now you have rook a6 next. And white's going to have to try to stop this pawn. But this should just be winning for white. So yeah, instead of king to f5, rook a4 would have been better. Because then the rook wouldn't get to a5, but most importantly, this pawn would just be one step farther back away from promoting. So the corner pawn is drawn with best play. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a draw, but can this king not work its way over here? Because this rook cuts the king off from ever coming here. So this king is not going to make progress. Like, these kings will meet each other. This king needs to come this way. So yeah, the king's going farther away from the situation. Okay, rook back, you got to watch out. Rook back, I think, is smart because pawn push. Yeah, they're going for... Oh, no! They mated themselves. Sparky. What's your king doing on h4, my friend? You're going after this pawn, but you already have a pawn over here. You got to work with this guy. So Mark with the swindle. Top two boards from Baylor, 3 and 3. So I guess they both are undefeated. Or wait, maybe one of those is a win from Dane. Yeah, actually. So there's one round left. I should give the point to Gully for Damon. I believe at least one. So after 3 rounds, it's 8-4 in favor of Baylor. UNLV cannot even sweep this final round because one of their players is missing. Unless they show up. So if Damon shows up in this 4th and final round and every UNLV B player wins their game, then the match will be a tie. But the odds of that happening are very low. Not 0, but close to it. So UNLV B still has some hopes alive. But a draw for Baylor or Damon not showing up will clinch the match. Silthus, thanks for the follow. All right, so last round, we got Deadpool versus Mark. Deadpool has the most points from UNLV B with 2 out of 3 games. Looking to go maybe 3 out of 4 here. Keeping UNLV B dreams alive, but they're up against Mark, who is, I guess, 3 out of 3 technically. And yeah, T5 Sparky, the top board from UNLV B, going up against top board from Baylor, who is also 3 out of 3. So Baylor has 2 players trying to go flawless. Okay, queen check. I would block here. Yes. Rook here is going to be somewhat annoying. You don't want a castle. That is for sure. But that is a mistake that very easily could happen. We could see rook here, castles, and... Uh-oh. No, just develop the knight. Still, don't castle. As much as you want to. Daniel, I hope you're not listening, my friend. Maybe I should tell you to castle. You should castle. Listen to me, Daniel. You want to castle. Okay, g6 first. So no mate on h7. Not yet, at least. You never know. If the bishop goes back. Anyhow. Castling safe now. You can do it, Daniel. You have my blessings to castle. There it is. All right, how about this? This, or this. I don't know. T5 Sparky. Yeah, this is a big difference in the top boards. Let's look at Deadpool's game. Yeah, Deadpool's also pretty underrated. So these are both the top 2 matchups of these teams. So quite the mismatch here actually. Rook here is a bit passive. I think like e6 is a bit better. Just so you can see g6. Maybe get this nice little fork in there. Deadpool resigns. 1 move blunder. Queen here, and that's lights out. GG. So Copper Knight there, ensuring the win. Going 4 for 4. Baylor is officially going to win this match with that last result. So it all comes down to Daniel and Sparky. Although I didn't see, I guess Gully and Tyler already played. They played like a round earlier or something. So should give a point to Innocent for that 4th and final round, I guess. Though I guess I might be still missing a game. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Sparky won a game that I missed or something. Anywho, this is the last game of the match for today. Looks like White's doing well. Okay, passed C pawn. Pawn takes, so exchange sacrifice from Sparky. Because after takes, there's this thing going on here, but maybe taking here first is really good, because now we have this move. So yeah, what was your plan B? If takes first, then the bishop's hanging, so never mind. Okay, so an exchange sacrifice from Sparky didn't amount to too much. Okay, defending. I think you could just trade here or just leave it. You don't have to react to this. You can bring your other rook into the game to c8 maybe. Maybe lift the rook. Push the pawn. Queen here is solid. The takes is the thing now. Sparky's got a lot of time. Yeah, we do see the trade. Take with queen is very interesting. I think maybe king takes is a bit better, but maybe worried about trading queens or something. I don't know. So the queen comes back out, defending the pawn. But yeah, Sparky should be able to win this pretty easily. Or not Sparky. Did I say Sparky? Sorry. And Daniel. Imagine that confidence though. Down in exchange, easy win. So yeah, even Daniel is just offering queen trade. Yeah, Sparky should not accept the queen trade. But they do. So this just helps black for sure. King here prevents rook e2. This threatens to trade rooks. So rook lift. I would put a rook back to the e file, I think. That's what I would do. So just going for the check, going after the pawns. Pawn here, rook here. Okay, rook here as well. Maybe rook here. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, rook e8 maybe. Nothing crazy. Yeah, just king g7's fine. Okay, knight in now, but hold up. Rook e8, hello? I think you're losing this piece, my friend. If Daniel sees it. Sees the day. Rook e8. So yeah, no matter what happens next, f6 or okay, just that just gives it that up. So Sparky's playing on. Just trying to see if there's any tricks. If there's anything. Maybe Daniel's gonna, I don't know, flag or lose internet connection, but no. Sparky throws in the towel. After this move, this is gonna force the rooks off or at least lose more material. So well done from Daniel, 4 out of